I think a lot while I'm driving a bus, and I had this idea about what might be a funny inscription on my gravestone. This led me to imagine picking up death on the bus at an unofficial bus stop, especially on the stressful summer Land's End route. This is the last bus, and death shall have no dominoes. Underground now in a wooden box instead of above in one of metal and glass, the absence of a door of any kind at least allows me to rest in peace. That mantra of the bus driving fraternity, an empty bus is a happy one, may be wide of the mark in this case, as I find myself incarcerated in this receptacle for used tickets only. Ignoring the small brass turning handle that hangs above me like that Greek fella's sword, I seek the periscope to look upstairs, but its absence confirms what I already know. My last vehicle is a single-decker. Just me, my timetable and duty board, the latter in truth a laminated sheet of A4 that marks out my journey, my final journey. It is blank. What was it brought me here? One of those days I'm late for everyone else's important date. At the next stop, a man in black, one arm gauntleted in an aluminium crutch, looks somewhat theatrically at his watch. He takes no notice of the time, as his dumb show is for my benefit. Me, the one who is in the thrall of the large digital clock on my ticket machine. He wants me to know that he knows I am late. The great metal crutch sighs out into the road, arcing like a crusader's longsword, into the fray, ready for conflict. Clearly it requires substantially more than just an arm in this instance. There, with blade and timepiece, he clutches in the white, crab's-legged fingers of his hand his concessionary pass, like a small shield, a buckler. I hate you, longsword. I hate you, buckler. Drawbridge down, he mounts the bus and draws up term for my surrender. You, not even a sir here, are late. As if I didn't know the clock on the machine, remember, I tell him that I'm far from happy about it myself. I'm late for me. My journey home to wife and family will be, what's the word, later. He then wastes time, that oh so valuable commodity, by asking me why I'm late. If I told him, I doubt his anger would allow him to listen, and so it continues. Late coming into the station, the standing load, all eager to alight but slow to accomplish the deed. For my next trip, my last journey, more angry faces line up in wait, ready to complain, ready to question about return times or just why I'm late leaving the station. The knock-on effect actualises the law of cumulative lateness. Once a bus is late, it can only become later still. Those 20 minutes will not be made up. They will breed, incubated by fate on a route that challenges the driver, the single-track roads, press once. As the headway is no longer maintained, as much as dismembered, press once. The oncoming trailer and tractor and the 100-yard reverse, press once. The driver out of his campervan comfort zone, the timid tourist puts a back wheel, press once, halfway up a Cornish hedge, and nods in meek obeisance as I process by, press once. I feel the vein in my temple throb, protruding like a bell strip, press once. It keeps ringing but no one gets off. The snickering kids upstairs, pressing more than the prescribed once. Ask not for who the bell tolls. Isn't it obvious as I fight the early evening traffic? Departing the beach at Porthcurno or the afternoon performance at the Minack Theatre, I push like some kind of matinee idol against a pouring tide of humanity, each car a canned concentrate of a laughing theatre audience as I press on. At the hairpin bend overlooking Treen Village, he waits once more, this time in a black coat, a hood cowling his imagined features. Now the timepiece is made of glass and sand. His scythe gleams with certainty as it arcs out like a great metal crutch. My time has come. Death waits for me. I am compelled to bring the bus to a halt, even though it is not an official request stop. Opening the doors for the last time, I take comfort from the good book, the bus driver's manual on greeting a passenger. I turn to face him and make eye contact to show I am genuinely interested in what he is saying. "It is time," says Death. I make sure I listen carefully to what he is saying and do my best to give a clear and concise answer. "Fuck," I say. I keep my facial expression friendly, open and clear, remembering to keep my hands away from my face when listening and responding using a steady and moderate tone of voice. "Any chance of a game of chess?" "Do you even play?" says Death. "How about a game of dominoes?" He shakes his head. "Those things only happen in films." His final words. So much better than mine. I am willing to smile readily if it is appropriate to do so. Remembering Bob Monkhouse's gag, his wish to die like his father, peacefully in his sleep, not screaming and terrified like his passengers, the passengers who, as I fly over the hairpin's edge, will be meeting their own version of death, the passengers who will never reach the Minack, not the monk's house this Minack, but a stony place, a hard place. I look around for the rock. Underground now in a wooden box, reaching my destination blind to what lies ahead, if anything, I present my final waybill. I'm the late bus driver, having arrived at the terminus. Mortem omnibus nobi venit, which means death comes for us all. By bus, I think. I take hold of the brass handle overhead and turn the letters on the stone 6 feet above, turn through the various destinations. Birth, childhood, learning, love, family, hope, until they stop at, "Sorry, I'm not in service."